Everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and I am on my way to have my hair cut. And this is a few hours after the incredible rainstorm that just came, windstorm that came through and took down 2 trees. I want to tell you, I'm in a little bit of a state of shock. And that probably doesn't surprise some of you. If you haven't already seen the pictures, they're worth looking at. We were in the kitchen, 5 of us in the kitchen, just about to celebrate Dougie's birthday and mine. Dougie was on the 25th, and my birthday is tomorrow, the 30th. And there was this horrific noise, and it just went sort of boom. I think that's, but it was bad, boom. You know, you knew this was something not good. Now, funny enough, my first thought was, did these high winds pick up somebody's patio table and slam it against the house? That's what I thought originally. And so we rushed outside to go check and realized that 2 of the trees between, we've got like an easement where there is a little river that runs between the 2 properties. So the trees weren't on my land or on my neighbor's land, they were on this easement, which could be a good thing, because it could mean that nobody is liable for this. I just don't know. But it was horrific to see. The wind had just literally taken these trees out of the ground. And if you wonder how bad the drought has been, even with the rain, you couldn't see any wet ground at all. Anyway, so we obviously were very grateful to be alive, because if the tree had gone the other way, towards us, not away from us, I probably wouldn't be making this video right now. Because it would have crunched. Yeah, never mind. Don't let's even think about that. Because we were probably no more than 20 feet away from the tree. No, 40 feet away, I would think. So it was really sort of, you go into shock, you know, and you rush out, even though the high winds are there and there could be another tree coming down. But you don't. You automatically rush out to see, okay, what happened? And then you realize what happened is 2 trees came out of the ground and fell. And then you're thinking, oh, thank goodness for that. You know, I mean, yeah, it took down the fence, but thank goodness for that. And then you suddenly think, wait a minute, how high were those trees? And then you look at your neighbor's house, and there are 2 trees reaching from my fence line to the top of his roof. And his roof is caved, and his back deck is gone, and his deck staircase is gone. And the good news was, the neighbor was away from the house. That was the good news. So we knew that the neighbor was safe, but the neighbor arrived a little bit later. And the next thing we knew, the neighbor was up on top of the roof trying to cut down the tree, and you're going, the winds are still here. What's he doing up there? You know, because the winds could blow him off the tree. I mean, off the roof. But I'm looking here as I drive, and the whole neighborhood that I'm driving, which is now already, you know, a good 10 minutes away from my home, and you can tell the winds here just ripped branches off trees, the trees and leaves all over the road. And I am hoping against all hope that everybody is okay, because there's some pretty old established properties here with some pretty good hunking looking trees. And the strange thing was, the two trees that came down were not the big fir trees, they were the two eucalyptus type trees. You know, tall and thin. But even so, you know, 30-year-old trees, they were big trees. So why am I broadcasting is probably what you're wondering. And you're probably going to understand this as I tell you. Oh, the lights are out here. So it did damage here as well. The reason that I'm talking to you guys is so you can keep me company. I tried to say in one of the comments that I made on Facebook that I feel grateful to a very large degree, but there's part of me that is so angry. I feel almost violated. And I know it is what it is, and I'm going to have to cope with whatever the costs are and all the rest of that, but there is part of me that just goes, this neighbor did not deserve to have his house destroyed after he'd spent the whole summer renovating it. And so life isn't fair, is it? And I am very, very, very grateful that he was safe and that the people in my kitchen, including myself, were safe. But, wow, I'm looking at all the damage here. There's a lot of damage here. Trees came down here. I don't think I'm the only one in shock. I just saw a woman standing by the side of the road and she's just looking. So where am I going? What was so important that I still need to go out? I have to get my hair cut, as you can see. But you know, I thought it would do me good to get out of the house and not look at it. Try and distract my brain a bit, but I also realized that I needed to do what I needed to do to stay in the present. Now then, how do I describe that to people who don't understand? When you're in some level of shock, the body protects itself by almost going into a trance level. And so I thought, what can I do to make sure that I stay in the present? And the answer was, I can talk. And I can talk to the peeps and let them know that I'm fine, which is going to be important to a lot of people. But that also, I also wanted to really talk about the feelings that I have at this moment. And the reason that I wanted to talk about it is because all of you in your life will get some pretty scary things happen to you. And so I'm hoping that in actually recording this, that you guys can see that to be in some level of shock is quite normal. To be in some level... let me try and explain this in a different way. You guys have heard me talk about the cycle of loss. That when we go through a loss, whether that is a person we love or whether that is something, you know, that we value, we go through this cycle of loss. And that's really what's happening to me right now. Because although it sounds strange, I have lost my back fence. But I've lost more than that. I've lost the serenity around the day. It was a really fun day, you know, with Dougie coming for his breakfast brunch sort of thing. He came last night. And so I was sort of angry that that ruined the day, because obviously it took away from that moment. But life is life, right? You don't get to choose it. And so what I wanted to do is to make sure that you can see that in this cycle of loss, you will go through the same emotions as if somebody had died, if I'd lost a pet, or if I'd, you know, heard that if something had happened to a friend of mine, for example. I'd be going through the same thing. It's just different. And so the first thing is to not, I can't believe that happened. You know, you sort of literally stand there and go, I can't believe that just happened. And then anger, which I'm drifting in and out of. You bounce a bit. You know, it's like 1 minute I'm angry, and you can probably hear there's part of me now that's beginning to be really sad. And I can feel that starting to happen, which is a good thing, because I needed to get sad. It's part of the process. And I've been through the intellectual side of it. You see, the intellectual side is easy. Gosh, aren't I lucky? I didn't get hurt. My neighbor didn't get hurt. It's just a fence. It's stuff. It's not people. You know, things are replaceable, regardless of whether I don't have the money or whatever. It's about these things are fixable. And maybe or maybe not they are covered by insurance, or maybe not they're covered by the city. I don't know yet. I really can't deal with that yet. I wonder if that makes sense. Yeah, I can find that out later. One of the things I did say, and for those of you who've known Bean viewers for a while, one of the things I said is, thank goodness Bean wasn't here. Other than the fact he would have been terrified. You understand, he would be gone. Oh, look at that, no fence. Boom! Gone. Oh, dear Bean. You know, not that I don't love you, Sal, but, you know, the fence is down, I can go play now. So he would have done that. He would have taken his opportunity, for sure. And so there was, you know, this amazing things that go through your mind. And so I just want you to know it's all quite normal. It's I will go through waves of this. It'll be interesting to see how I am half an hour from now when I finish having my haircut. And then I probably will go home and put on a couple of really pathetic movies and try and sleep. Now, why will I put on a couple of pathetic movies and try and sleep? Because the movies will, you know, lull me to sleep. And the best thing I can do to get out of shock would be to rest the body. You know, it's a bit like trying to protect my body from getting that bug that it tried to get hold of me earlier in the week. So, rest is a good thing. But I found I was very snippy. In fact, I don't mind telling you, I was very snippy all day. Even before this happened. It's almost like, I hate to say this, it's almost like I was aware that something was wrong. And things were, I was not in a good space at all. It was quite short-tempered for me, and I couldn't work out why. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to be very calm now because it must also be a full moon or something, because people are doing some very strange things. And that person was doing a very nice thing. People are doing very strange things with their cars today. Yeah. Anyway, people, I just want to let you know what's going on and how my body is. Wow, I'm half an hour away from home, and the damage is here as well. Strange to see. Huh. Okay, everybody, I'm good. I'll see you with much shorter hair in about half an hour. Bye for now. Well, hello again, everybody. This is DearMamaSal back again with much shorter hair and a lot more knowledge. One of the things that I really value is a chance to talk to different people. Oh, there's a whole fence that came down, but that looks just like a temporary fence that fell over. Anyway, so I got a chance to talk to a number of people, and what I heard was a number of people told me stories about where this had happened to them or their neighbors or whatever. And two things. Number one, they're pretty sure that if the trees were on the easement, that I am not to blame, and not only that, but that I will have my fence replaced at the city or government's cost, not at mine. So that is good to hear, because it's a big piece of fence that's gone. But we will wait and see. But everybody's pretty convinced that also the damage that's been done to my neighbor's house will not be my responsibility. So I'm hoping everybody's got it right. I'm also waiting. I'm waiting to get to work on Monday, where I can talk to lawyers, and they'll have a better idea. And I guess I need to talk about my household insurance as well. And my realtor, they'll probably have an idea. So the main thing is not to overly panic about it and just work with facts rather than ideas. There's another fence down. Again, another temporary fence, another secure fence. Anyway, there were horror stories. A lot of people were talking about, apparently the main highway was closed down today. Not quite sure what's caused the traffic jam here. It's very unusual to have a traffic jam at this time of the day in this part of the world. It's really quite weird. That's why I've just suddenly, I'm normally don't have any problem at all being in a different lane from the one I'm in. I don't want to be in this lane particularly, but I may be stuck in it. Anyway, the good news is we will find out soon enough, and I will obviously keep you all informed. Thank you all for those of you, and there were plenty of people that immediately showed great concern Thank you all for your concern. I really did appreciate that, and know that I am fine, and I will continue to look after myself. I intend to go home. I've got plenty of food in the house that's easy to just grab and eat because of the brunch that I did today, and I'm just going to literally stock up on some food and crawl into my bed and watch some movies and just take it easy and let my whole body just relax and recover. This is Dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now.